Brait is an investment holding company with stakes in Premier Foods, New Look, Virgin Active and Iceland. It has a market cap of 70.2 billion rand, a PE ratio of 18 and a dividend yield of 1%. And don't forget that big stake in New Look, and I think this is where most of the heat is coming, because I actually had a look on their website. So there's about 850 New Look stores, 550 of those in the UK, and their big expansion plan is to, it's a head office UK business, to expand throughout Europe. So this has almost slapped them in their face.
Yeah. And I think you're exactly right. So, it's not just the New Look business that they've got there. They've obviously got, the legacy with Iceland as well. So
and Virgin.
And Virgin also.
In fact,
Virgin's across, I think, 9 countries. But yeah,
most of their profits come from the UK. They don't have that many gyms there, but people obviously pay up to go to those health centres,
No, definitely. But so looking at it, you can expect this is one that should have been punished, incredibly hard with the unexpected referendum vote. But it now comes down to trying to work out where is good value. Obviously it's an investment holding company, so you should, instead of looking at PEs, we should probably be looking at the net asset value, and even then you kind of actually want to look at the track record of what management has done and what multiples they managed to sell businesses on to get an idea of where the company's going. So obviously you've mentioned the 4 big businesses that they've got at the moment, but like Steinhoff, they actually sit with a lot of cash on their balance sheet, and they've said they're looking at, their optimum portfolio would be 5 to 6 businesses. So they're looking for 2 big acquisitions at the moment.
So another one licking their lips.
And you've got to look at their track record and what they've done. So they're very savvy operators. It's the type of business that actually gives you nice exposure to more of the private equity type investment, which traditionally has slightly higher yields than traditional listed equity. So for me it's still an interesting one. Yes, we understand why it's sold off, and for us it's really now about trying to value what the future potential for Brait is. These guys are very, very clever at what they do, and I think you're right. You can believe it. They are licking their lips and looking at a lot of things here, and a lot of things are suddenly becoming very attractively priced for them.
Well, let's have a look at that share price, and we can see the big pullback, but obviously a great performer over the years. I think what else is exciting is they've managed to tap the European debt market, so they're getting that cheap cash, and the sort of private equity model, they're no longer a private equity company, but what they do is they approach private equity guys who sort of, in their mandate, they're forced sellers. So they often seem to get really good prices for these businesses, and as an investment holding company, they can sit and hold these things, for eternity, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Brait has traditionally traded at a premium to that net asset value. Net asset value here is sitting at I think it's 136 at the last report.
So it's probably right back that level.
Now you do expect there to be some sort of revaluation of the underlying assets with obviously the future prospects in the UK, but again, you look at it at this stage right now, nothing has actually changed in the UK other than that we've had an advisory vote. So I think it's going to be very difficult, and that's part of, I suppose, the challenge of trying to value these things when you've got so much uncertainty in the market. But again, this might be one that's been punished a little bit too hard, and with the volatility, maybe not from an investment point of view at this stage, but definitely from a trading point of view, I think there could be a lot of excitement, because you could see, because of the uncertainty. With pulling back, I think it was over 10% yesterday. To buy in there, we're getting a nice relief rally today. You can be making 5, 6, maybe 10%.
So I'm guessing you're hot on this one.
Yeah, maybe not. Again, we need to understand sort of its prospects longer term. But in the short term, in the sell-off, I think you should be trading it.
Yeah. Well, I think the opportunities that the underlying management team will look to find during this period are certainly exciting, and they've got a great management team with Christoph Wiese as the chairman, and he's put his money where his mouth is. So I'm going to remain hot on Brait.